Hello guys, welcome to Mason African Motives. Actually, in this platform we shall be focusing on the question paper which was written in 2019 for mathematics. This is actually grade 9 and this is 2019 paper, and it's actually for the internal candidates, and there's paper 1. So actually, like I was let me do this because I've seen that most of my classes, and even as I was checking my statistics there on my YouTube, I found that we've got a lot of people that are actually watching us all the way from Zambia. So then I decided to say, no, let me just work on question papers and revisions that are going to also help you guys to prepare yourselves for the exams and so forth. So this is something that is wonderful, and we just keep on saying, let us just keep on sharing our videos, our classes to your friends, your colleagues, so that they also can benefit from this platform, Mason African Motives. So I don't want to waste much of your time. I just want to quickly rush through the questions that we have got here. And also the other thing, if you're doing O-level mathematics for ZIMSEC, for ZIMSEC, actually this is the best paper also that you can use for your revisions. If you're doing O-level mathematics for ZIMSEC, you can relate most of the questions here. They're actually one and the same thing. So guys, remember your instructions, read your instructions very, very carefully, and make sure whenever you're answering, write everything that is so clear. All right, so not wasting much of your time. Remember your answer sheet for grade 9 and so forth. So I'm not going to dwell much on this. I'm going to talk about this towards writing. So let us just quickly rush through the first question. Okay, that is our section A, guys, and it's got 10 marks. First part is to evaluate. Okay, what are we evaluating? We are given 6 minus 3. So guys, these are directed numbers. Okay, so we know that from our directed numbers, a minus and a minus gives us a plus. So it is going to be 6 plus 3 at the end, and this gives us a 9. So actually we are having our answer here on this B here. So here I'm just indicating, but you're supposed to answer properly by indicating with an X there, but here I'm just indicating what is happening. Okay, write the number that you're given here. That's 357,861 correct to 3 significant figures. All right, so the first thing is, what do we refer to as 3 significant figures? What are significant figures? Significant figures, you are now referring to whole numbers. Okay, that is, these are whole numbers. 0 is only a significant figure if it is between whole numbers. That is where 0 becomes a significant digit. So here we're just calculating, guys, 3 digits, then round off. Okay, so let's calculate. Already this is a whole number, so that's our first digit. That's 1, 2, 3. So which means this number here is going to round off, or is going to change this number if it is greater than 5 or equal to 5. As you can see, it's greater than 5, so it means it's going to add 1 here. It's now 3, 5, and this changes into 8. Every digit here is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. So don't remove these zeros. They are going to be part of your answer, unless it was a comma, like maybe it was 3, 5, 7, comma 8, 6, 1, like this. Once this round off here, it is going to be 3, 5, 8, comma 0, 0, 0, like that. And we know that all digits after the comma, they are not important, so it's going to be 3, 5, 8 if it was a comma, like something like that. But in this case, it's just a whole number, so there's nothing that you're going to do. So which means, what is the answer here? 3, 5, 8. That is our C here. All right, so we are having our answer there at C. So that is, guys, let's quickly see number 3. That is to find the value of 3 to the exponent of 3 minus 2 to the power of 2. 3 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 3 minus 2 to the power of 2, or 3 to the exponent of 3 minus 2 to the exponent of 2, 2 to the exponent of 2, which is just one and the same thing, just evaluating direct, guys. Remember, here you do not have a law that you're going to use from your indices or from your exponents. You do not have a law that you're going to use. So what am I going to do? Just simplify direct. 3 to the exponent of 3 minus 2 to the exponent of 2. I know this is going to multiply itself 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is going to give me 27 if I multiply properly, because this is 9 times 3 which is 27 minus 2 squared, that is 2 times 2, which is simply a 4. So you can simply subtract, and this is going to give us 23. Is it 23, guys? Okay, that is a 23 in this case, which is actually on C. All right, so this is where we are having our C there. What is the following? What of the following is an input device? Okay, from this, what do we have as an input device? We've got headphones, guys. Headphones, it's an output because it gives us sound like you're listening to music. It's giving out. So this is actually out. This is an output. Microphone. Okay, this microphone, guys, as you are speaking, you're speaking into the device that is going to transfer the information to an output device. So which means microphone is actually an input device. A printer, it prints out like just take note, it prints out, it is giving out, so it's an output device. This one, a speaker, just like a headphone, they play one in the same event or one in the same row. So which means our answer here was microphone. What is the name of the figure below? Okay, the figure that we're given, as you can see, guys, is a cone, right? So that's a cone. It's not a polygon, guys, not a prism. Okay, it's just a cone, this one. Which of the following is an irrational number? Okay, well, how do we see that this is an irrational number? Okay, from our numbers, guys, we understand that every number that can be expressed as a decimal and is not exact, like this one, which gives us 0.333 and so on, or any number that we do not know its square root, or like we can't simplify the square root of that number. Like, which number can we talk of? These are the numbers that we can talk of. These are irrational numbers. You can't evaluate square root of 7 direct. If you are to use your calculator, it's going to give you an endless decimal, a decimal that does not end. So that's an irrational number. So in these numbers, which one is of such nature? 0.4 it's a decimal, but it's already in exact form. It's already in exact form, so there's nothing there. This one is, that's actually a rational number, not irrational, but just rational. Okay, the same as this 3. It's a whole number. Okay, let's move on to square root of 9. Square root of 9, we know that square root of 9, that's an exact value, which is plus or minus 3. So we are only left with square root of 7. Do we know square root of 7? We do not. So that's an irrational number. The one that, when expressed as a decimal, it does not end. That's an irrational number. So which means we had our answer on C there. So let us quickly rush through and see. On number 7, we are given, using set notation, describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. Actually, if I am to take a closer look, I will see that, okay, this part that is not shaded here, the part that is not just shaded, it's A union B. The part that is not shaded is A union B. The combination, you're combining A and what? And B. Which means this part that is outside, that is shaded, is A union B complement. All right. Now, if I am to check on my answers here, I do not have such an answer here like A union B complement. Why? Because remember from your sets that this is actually identical or equal to A complement intersection B complement. So you interchange. This was where A union. Now it's going to be an intersection, but everything having complement. So you're going to look for an answer for this now, because this is not on the list of your answers. So you're going to see which one is going to be equal to that, which is this here, that is here on our first part, which is our A. So that will be our answer there. So simply like that. All right, so what about on number 8? We are given that there's a table that you are given here, which is a distribution of scores in mathematics test in a grade 9 class. Okay, so that was like a test which was written, and these are the scores. Like, this is the score, then the frequency. Remember, it's like those who scored 10, we are having 1, which means just one person. 20, we are having 8, 35, 40, and 4. So these are like the number of people in this grade 9 class. So the question is, from this information, what is the model class? And we know that the model class is the class that has got the highest frequency. the class that has got the highest frequency. We are talking of a class which is the score that has got highest frequency. So which score that has got highest frequency? These are your frequencies here. So the highest frequency is 8. So the answer is the score here. This is your answer here, the score. So the score is what? Is 20. So in this case, that's our answer here. Highest frequency, the score that corresponds to highest frequency, not the highest frequency. Okay, so that's it, guys. On number 9, we are given that there is a solid wooden block that has got a mass of 600 grams, a volume of 1,200 cubic centimeters. Calculate the density of the wooden block. Okay, so this is how you typically answer your questions. You just list down your information. We are given a mass of the block, which is 600 grams, and the volume of 1,200. So this is 600 grams and a volume of 1,200 cubic centimeters, and you want to calculate the density in this case. All right, so simply using formulas, we can have our density. Or if you've forgotten your formulas, this is what you want to do. In a simpler way, you can use this triangle which states that MdV. Okay, MdV like this, or this one can be C. Remember, volume is same as capacity, so it's mass density volume, which is volume is same as what? As capacity. All right, so simply I want to calculate what? I want to calculate density, so I'm just going to close this density, which is mass over volume. So that's it, guys. So density is equivalent to mass over the volume. And also take note that in order for you to use this formula, your mass is supposed to be in grams, okay? Your volume is supposed to be in cubic centimeters. These must correspond. This must correspond. If your mass is in kgs like this, it must correspond with a volume which is in cubic meters. So these two must correspond like that. Kgs, cubic meters, grams, cubic centimeters. So in this case, it's actually fine because this is grams, this is cubic centimeters. So we can easily substitute our mass, which is 600 grams, over the volume of 1,200. So playing out your division skills, this is going to give us 0.5, guys, because this is like these zeros cancel. 6, 1, this is a 2. Okay, that's 2 into 1, that's 0.1 here. 2 into 10, which is 5, so that's going to give us 0.5 grams per cubic centimeter like this, because this is cubic centimeters here like that. So it's going to be 0.5 grams per cubic centimeter. And where do we have our 0.5 grams per cubic centimeter? We have this in this part here, which is our D. So our answer there was actually at D. So that was like that, guys. And you'll be like, what's happening in this exam anyways? Okay, we are given that there is Palive, Tapa, and Shed 30 kwacha there in the ratio of 2:3 respectively. How much more did Tapala receive compared to Palive? I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct, but I think I'm in the way. Okay, anyways, we have got these two guys that we are given that are sharing a certain amount of money, which is in this case 30 kwacha. All right, that is the amount of money that you're given that they are sharing in this case, in the ratio of 2:3. So the ratio of these two guys is 2:3, which means Palive is going to have 2 and Tapala is going to have 3 according to the ratio. Okay, then the question is, how much more did Tapala receive compared to Palive? How much more did he receive? Okay, so how do I know that he's going to receive such certain amount of money? Let us just calculate the amount of this guy. All right, so according to our ratio, we have got 2:3, and the total ratio in this case, we have to find the value of the total ratio, which is simply add 2 plus 3, which is 5. So this total ratio is the one that is equal to the amount they shared, which is in this case, they shared what? They shared 30 kwacha. So if this is the amount of money they shared all together, how much did Palive receive? So let's see, how much did he receive? is going to be, according to his ratio, it's 2. Okay, that is 2 over the total now, which we added, and we got a total of what? Of 5. So it's 2 over 5 times the amount they are sharing. They are sharing what? They are sharing 30 kwacha. So instead of you using these zeros, because these are just indicating the value of money. Remember, if you're representing money, even they are dollars, it's $5 like that. So this is just an indication of money. So when calculating, just remove this, work out this part that you are used to. So simply I can just divide 5 here, that's 1, and here 6. So multiplying these 2, 6 and 2, that's 12. So which means he received 12 kwacha. All right, that's Paliwe. And what about Tapala? He received, according to the amount that he's got, is 3 according to the ratio. So it's 3 multiplied by the total amount they shared, which is 30 kwacha. So over the total, they are going to be over the total. All right, let me adjust this side. So multiplying these 2 is just the same thing that we did here. 5 and 5, that's 1. Here is a 6. So you can multiply 6 by 2, which is 30, which is 18, not 30. So this is 18 kwacha, guys. Okay, so which means actually Tapala received 30 kwacha, isn't it? If we are to do this properly, this is actually 6 by 2, which is 12, and this is 3, which is 6 by 3, which is 18. So this is what you're going to have according to the ratios. Now the question is, according to these 2 parts, how much more did Tapal receive? Which means he received certain amount of money more than Pavel. So how much more did he receive? We just need to know the difference. How much more did he receive? That is the difference between him and the other guy. So that is going to be 18 kwacha, guys, minus 12 kwacha. And that's 18 minus 12, guys, which is simply 6. So he received 6 kwacha more than Pale. So that is what you simply have. Even by side, you can simply, guys, 12 to 18, there's a difference of 6. So this is paper 1, guys. Okay, and okay, anyways, that is what you're supposed to do, and this is your 6, which is on A. So our answer is going to be an A there. All right, then on section B, let us quickly rush on section B and see what we have got. Given matrix P, we are given state the order of the matrix. Remember, for you to state the order of the matrix, it's just a matter of stating the number of rows versus the number of columns. So how many rows? We've got 1, 2. So this matrix has got 2 rows. How many columns? This is 1, 2, 3, and 3 columns. So that's a 2 by 3 matrix. All right. Find 2p. So 2p, what does 2p mean? 2p, that's 2 times matrix p, and this p, that's a matrix. So 2 is a scalar. Remember, this 2 is a scalar, a number that multiplies everything that you're given inside the matrix. It can be a matrix, it can be a vector quantity, but in this case we are representing in matrix. So that's simply multiply everything by 2, just like that. So let us multiply by 2 each and every term. That's 2 times 3, that's 6. 2 times 0, that's a 0 here. 2 times 1, that's 2. 2 times 3, that's 6. 2 times 0 here, that's a 0. 2 times minus 2, that's minus 4. Remember, guys, the sign is a positive and a negative, and it just remains what? As a negative. So that's what you're going to simply have. And on number 12, you're given the values of x, the value of x, the value of y, and the value of z. Find 2x minus y plus 3z. It's an expression that you are given, which follows under your substitution, where you're going to substitute whatever that you are given in place of this expression. So that's simply substituting our x, which is 3. That's 2 times 3 minus the value of y. Our y in this case is, take note, it's minus 1. So it's going to be minus 1 like this, plus 3z. That's 3 times z, our z, which is a 0. So to multiply, you can simply open a bracket to indicate that I am multiplying 2 and 3, which is going to give me 6. Minus and a minus, I know that this is going to give me a plus 1. 3 times 0, any number times 0, that's a 0. So 6 plus 1, that's a 7. So just like that. Okay, then we have got to factorize on number 13. Factorize completely this expression. To factorize completely, which means you are going to factorize until the last part, until you are not able to factorize again. So how do I find this? I simply have to find the highest common factor between the terms or the numbers that I'm given. So what is the highest common factor of 5 and 25? The highest common factor there is 5. Okay, so how do I see, or how can I locate the highest common factor when I am given letters like this? I've given letter a squared and this is a. You take the one with the lowest exponent. Take the one with the lowest power. All right, that is your highest common factor. It must be common and having the lowest power. And here we are talking of a, that is the one with the lowest power. So that is your highest common factor. So it's going to be 5a. So that's how you factor out, or you take out the highest common factor in terms of dealing or working with letters. Now I can simply divide here. 5a squared divided by 5a. And this is going to give us our 5a. This is going to give us a, because it's simply like this, 5a squared over 5a, like this. 5 and 5 will cancel. A into a squared, that is a. So this is going to give us a plus 25a divided by 5a. So it's simply 25a over 5a, like this. A and a will cancel, and that's 5 into 25, which is 5. So this is going to be plus 5. So simply, there's nothing that is common that is going to happen. There can be a condition of this when you are working maybe with something like this, 6x squared minus 6, like this. You factor out 6, which is common. You remain with x squared minus 1. But after you realize, no, there's a difference of 2 squares. So it's going to be 6 into, you find the square root of x squared, which is x, square root of 1, which is 1, another bracket will subtract. So there can be conditions like that. So when they say factorize completely, you are not supposed to leave your answer at that stage. So that is what I'm trying to say. All right. Anyways, let us move on to number 14, where we are given that in the figure below, BF, this one B to F, is parallel to C to A. Okay, so if it is parallel, okay, it's fine. We have to apply the laws of parallel lines and so forth. Then we are given that BF, again, the same BF, bisects angle ABD. That's ABD. What is to bisect? That is the first thing that we are supposed to ask ourselves. That is to bisect, simply to divide into two equal parts. Into two equal parts. So, or equal portions. You are dividing into two equal portions. So that means this line here, BF, it is going to divide angle ABD into two equal parts. That's this angle here, this that you see, and this angle here. They are equal, ABF, and this angle here, DBF. They are going to be equal. And the question is for me to calculate the size of angle BDE, which is BDE, which is this angle here, is the one that I'm asked to calculate. How am I going to find this angle? Okay, let's first work on the concept that we have that these two here, they are equal. What is it that we can have from that? Okay, ABC is a straight line, and I actually know that angles on a straight line, they add up to 180. So to find the whole of this angle here, I'm just going to subtract it from what? From 180. 180 minus 50 degrees. And whatever that I get here, which is going to be 130 degrees actually. Whatever that I'm going to get here, definitely I'm going to divide by 2, which is going to give us here that 61, which is 65 degrees. So that means this angle here is now divided into 2. It's now 65 degrees here, 65 degrees here. How is this helping us? Okay, I just want you to take this portion here. Just forget about this triangle here. Just take this portion here. From B to D to E, this one, and to F, this portion. These are parallel lines. And these two angles here, this angle at B, that is B, that is DBF, this angle of 65. And this angle here at D, they are co-interior angles, the ones that produce or that gives us a C like that. And we know that co-interior angles, they are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. That is to be supplementary. So what am I going to do? I'm going to simply find this angle BDE now by subtracting this angle of 65 from 180 degrees. And that is going to give us 115 degrees if you subtract properly, just like that, guys. All right. So anyways, this is how they can ask these questions and so forth. So the other question, number 15, is to convert this number to base 2. Okay, how do I convert the given number that is 7,125, okay, to base 2? To base 2. Actually, the other thing that I have seen is that when there's a like this paper, like your papers and so forth, you represent this like a comma, a dot. So let me just put it the way that you represent your values, guys. It's like this, like that. That's a comma, like that. 7 comma like this to base 2. So this is actually in base 10 and you are converting to base 2. How do I convert to base 2? A decimal. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to separate this into 2. This is like a whole number that I'm having. So let us just convert this whole number to base 2. Okay, we know that to convert to base 2, all you need is to divide by the base, noting the remainders throughout. So that if that is the case, therefore, let us divide and see the remainders. Okay, we are dividing what by 2? 7 divided by 2, or 2 into 7, that is 3, remainder 1. Remember, into 6, that is 3, remainder 1. 2 into 3, that is 1, into 2, and there is a remainder of 1. 2 into 1, that is a 0, and remainder, this number here, which is 1. So this means in base 2, this here, just this 7 is going to give us 1, 1, 1, base 2. That is this part only. Now let's move on to the decimal part. Now the decimal part is, since we have removed this 7, which means this is going to be 0,0,125 now, which is in base 10. That is the one that you are left with. How do you convert a decimal from base 10 to base 2, which is by decimal? This is how you do it. You multiply by the base throughout. Okay, this time you multiply times 2. Okay, so 0,25 times 2, which is going 0,125, which is going to give us 0,25. So you take the decimal part. If this was, maybe, let me just put it this way, maybe it was 1,25 like this, you were going to take this part here and remain with 0,25. Okay, but here it's already just like that, so you just take this decimal, 0,25 times 2. All right, that's 0,5. If you multiply properly, you do again 0,5 times 2, which is going to give us 1. So 1 as a decimal, that's 1,0. So as you can see, we are no longer having anything, because it will be 0 times 2, 0 because we are taking 0, so there's nothing that is going to happen. So this is your answer. But how do you take this answer? You take now your answers. Take note here, we are taking going up. This time you go down. You take your values going down like this. And these are values which are after the comma. So it's after the comma, which is comma 0, 0, 1. So it's going to be comma. You take these values going down in base of what? In base of 2. So you are simply going to combine or to join these two, which is 1, 1, 1, comma 0, 0, 1 in base 2, like that. So this is what you're going to have. You simply now combine the two, because this is a comma here. So now just combine the two. Your answer is in base of 2, just like that. So this is how you convert, guys, a decimal from base 10 to a number in any base. It can be base 2, it can be base 8, it can be any base that they gave you there. You simply apply the same technique or the same concept. Mr. Mali invested 48,000 kwacha at 20% per annum, find the interest after 9 months. All right, so we've got Mr. Mali who is investing the amount of money in a bank. So remember that the money that is being invested, that's your principal amount. So in this case, the principal value is this amount that is invested, that's principal, which is 48,000 kwacha. All right, then we move on at 20% per annum. So this is your rate, the rate that you're given, that's 20% per annum, which is per annum, that is per year, that is per annum, per year. But the time we are given in months, that is 9 months. So this time must be converted to years. Your time is supposed to be in years. So how do I convert 9 months into years? You divide by 12. Everything that is in months, simply divide by what? By 12. And that's going to give us 3/4 by 3 here. That's 3/4. So this is 3/4 years. So this is our time in years. And what do we need? We have to calculate the interest. What was the interest? So we can just use the simpler formula. Interest is equal to principal times rate times the given time. That's it. We know that percentage is going to be like the interest, the principal is 48. So someone can use this formula like PRT over 100. That's it. When you use over 100, then the percentage part you just write as it is. But if you use your formula like this, you're going to write it like this. It's going to be 48,000. That's your principal. Remember, I told you these are just for representing money. Don't write them. Okay. Times the rate. Your rate is 20%. You write it as 20/100 because you didn't use over 100. So to remove percentage, that's over 100. So this over 100 that's there because it indicates to remove a percentage, just like that. And the number of years, which is 3/4, just like that. So it's now me and you to evaluate, reduce whatever that you're given, and you obtain a certain value. So there's these 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here, 4 here, that's a 1, 4 here, that's a 5. So you can multiply 480. That's 480 times 5 times 3, which is 15. And this is going to give us something like 7,200 kwacha as the interest. This is what the person got after Mr. Mali to receive this amount of money as the interest. So take note, guys, how you calculate your interest is simply a matter of substitution into the formula, and you are done. Okay, so let's see another part that we are given on number 17. We are given that in the bearing, in the diagram that you're given, actually there is a bearing that we have got, that is A from B. What is the bearing of A from B? So A from B, guys, we simply know that you're going to have something like this here. All right, a north pole at B. Okay, then A from B, that means these are two lines. We know that they are parallel. As we know, guys, they'll be parallel, and this is 50. This will be also 50 degrees. So the whole of this angle from this point to this point is 180, this one. And as we need from this point here going into this line, so as you can see, also 50 is included. So it's 180 for the straight line plus 50 degrees, and that is the whole angle that we're going to have, which is 230 degrees. Okay, so that's the bearing that we are given of A from B. All right, solve the equation on number 18. We are given to solve the equation 3 plus 2 into x minus 1, which is equivalent to 1. How do I solve such type of an equation? Definitely I have to expand brackets here. That's 2 times x, expand everything. That's 2x, 2 times minus 1, which is minus 2, which is equal to 1. Then I can collect like terms like 3 minus 2, which is 1. So it's going to be 1 plus 2x, which is equal to 1. Then I can transpose this. Thus 2x is equal to this side. That's 1 minus 1, which is a 0 there. Just divide by 2 both sides, divide by 2 both sides. So your x is going to be a 0 there. All right, just like that. So on number 19, so even you can cross-check by substituting the value of 0 here. You must obtain an exact answer like the one that you're given. Okay, number 19, you're asked to simplify the given expression, which is 4x squared plus 2x minus x squared plus 3x. So how do I simplify? I just need to collect like terms. Remember how you simplify. That's x squared and x squared, which is 4x squared minus x squared plus 2x plus 3x. So this is just like 1 here minus 1. So you can easily or clearly see that you're subtracting 4 minus 1, which is 3 x squared, and this is 2 plus 3, which is 5x. So these are like terms, just add like that. All right, on number 20, that there's a Venn diagram that you're given. List the elements of P complement intersection Q. Okay, I want you to clearly see what is happening here, guys. All you can just do is to work out the elements separately, because I want to find P complement intersection Q. So it's either that I'm supposed to know the set that I'm talking about, because if I refer as P complement, that is, you close this P, everything that is not in P, which means you are referring to this part and this part here. Then intersection Q, definitely we are not going to go anywhere. We are going to remain, or we are going to be stuck in this part of Q here, which is 4, 5, and what? 4, 5, and 9. But let's say I don't understand, how do I take this? Okay, then let me do this. Find your P complement, list it down. This is what we're going to do. P complement, you close this set P here. Okay, so you close set P. So if you close this set P, you're going to remain with these numbers here. 1, 2. That's 1, 2. Okay, we closed P here, and we are going to remain with these numbers also. 4, 5, and 9. So we're going to remain with these numbers. That's P complement, the part that is not in P. Intersection Q. So this is going to be intersection Q. What is in Q? Okay, if you have to cross check Q, you just take this part that is enclosed by this set Q here, which is these numbers. You just take them 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay, that's 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So you are taking these numbers here that are in Q, these ones. All right, which is 4, 5, 6. Just take even in any order. Okay, so we know that intersection, these are the elements that are found in between, that you can see in this set and also in this set. So which elements are those? 1, we do not have it here. 2, we do not have it here. 4, we have got 4 here. 5, we have got 5 here. 9, we've got 9 here. So as we can see, we are still obtaining the same answer that I talked about here, that this is where our answer is going to be. All right, anyways, this is how you could have done it. So P complement intersection Q, therefore, is going to be what? 4, 5, and 9. So you can take by listing out like this, or you can even take direct from the diagram by just saying this is my P complement, what is outside of P, intersection Q. That is just like that. Okay, on number 21, we are given that there is a function of x that we are asked to evaluate from, which is 3x minus 2 over 2. That is on number 21, and the question is asking us to find f of 3. So what does f of 3 mean? F of 3 means simply substitute in place of x. Substitute 3 in place of x, because it was x, now it's 3. So where there is x, substitute 3, replace with the 3. Okay, just like that. So I can substitute 3 times 2, that is 9 minus 2 over 2. 9 minus 2, that is 7 over 2, just like that. Okay, write this as a whatever that I want. I can write this as 3.5, or just leave it like that. It's still one and the same thing. Then on number 22, solve the inequation, that is the inequality. Inequation, that is an inequality, which is 2x plus 1 is greater than 5. All right, so how do I solve this inequation that I'm given? Simply by transposing 1 to this side. It was a plus, it is going to be a minus. So that's 2x is greater than 5 minus 1, which is 4. So I can simply divide by 2 both sides, since I want to have x, and this is multiplying. So if I divide by 2 both sides, that's here is 2. So x is actually greater than 2. Not equal to 2, but greater than. So you have to maintain the sign here that you're given in between. You have to maintain the inequality sign that you're given, something like that. So that's what we have got. And on number 23, we are given that in the diagram below, ABC is an isosceles triangle. So there's an isosceles triangle ABC with AB. So take note the information that these two sides, they're actually equal. So AC and AB, they are equal. A to B, A to C. So the question is calculate the length of BC from B to C, the whole of this length here. Okay, so we actually know that if this is an isosceles triangle, this perpendicular height is not just an ordinary perpendicular height. It's a special perpendicular height. Why? Because it is going to divide this line BC into two equal parts. That is from B to D. It is equal from D to C. So if these two are equal, therefore to find BC, just calculate one of these, because maybe this is X, this is X. So it's simply you calculate one, then you multiply by 2, or you add to another one because they are equal. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are to separate even one of the triangles, just one, I'm going to take this one from A to B to D, this one. This is A to B to D, where we have got 13 centimeters here and 5 centimeters. So let us just calculate. It's D here, not C. It's D actually here from this part to D. So let us just calculate BD. Whatever we get, we multiply by 2. Just like that. So let's just say this or X, or just leave it like BD, whatever that you know. So from our Pythagoras theorem, because this is a right angle triangle, you know that hypotenuse squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, which someone can write as C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. It's still Pythagoras theorem, one and the same thing, where the hypotenuse is the longer side, which is 13 squared, that is equal to the shorter side. In this case, I'm just going to take this as BD squared, which is BD, and this 5 centimeters squared. So that's it, 13 squared, that's 13 times 13, guys, that's 169. 5 squared, that is 25. So it is going to be minus when it comes to this side. So it's equal to BD squared. Then 169 minus 25, if you subtract properly, guys, this is 144 equal to BD squared. So this will be BD. So that's why sometimes I love using the letter like just X, because it becomes easier. Okay, anyways, you have to remove the square here. So you introduce what? The square root. So that's your BD. Square root of 144, which is 12. That's 12 times 12 gives us what? 144. So which means our BD is 12 centimeters. So from B to D here is 12 centimeters, which is the same as from D to C, which is also 12 centimeters. So therefore BC is 12 plus 12, which is 24 centimeters, just like that. All right. So that's what we actually had from this particular section. Okay, let's see on number 24 to evaluate the square root of 64 minus the cube root of 27. That's number 24. The square root of 64 minus the cube root. In this case, this is the cube root of 27. So square root of, we are simply looking for a number that's going to multiply itself 2 times so that it can give us 64. That's 8 times 8. So that's going to 8 minus the cube. We also know that square root of a number, that's a plus or minus. But in this case, you're just evaluating. So just use the positive value. And the cube root of 27, a number that multiplies itself 3 times to give us 27. That's 3 times 3 times 3. So if you know 3 to the exponent of 3, it is going to be easier for you to know the cube root of 27, because you know that this gave you 27. So that would be 3 here. Anyways, 8 minus 3, that's 5, isn't it? That's a 5. So that's what we had. Mrs. Malayeti bought 250 units of electricity. That is 250 units there. And each unit is costing 0.25 kwacha per unit. Okay, that's each unit. And for the first 200 units, so she actually divided the number of units. There were 250. So she divided to say, okay, this time I'm going to take 200 units at 25 at 0.25 kwacha, that is 25 cents, 0.25. Then what about the rest? The rest, which means you are saying if they were 250, so therefore the rest is what? Is 50. That's simply 250 minus 200, which is 50 units, and each unit is at 0.60 kwacha. That is how she used the amount of money that she had. Okay, how much did she pay for the first 200 units? That's the question. How much are they going for? 0.25 kwacha per unit for the first 200. So you simply have to multiply. So for the first 200 units, it is going to be 200 units times the amount of money that she is paying per unit, which is 25 cents per unit, which is 0.25 kwacha. So if you are to multiply properly, that's gonna be 50 here. Okay, so you're gonna have something like 50 kwacha. All right, so that was actually the way you guys received to multiply properly. Then on number B, calculate the total cost of units of electricity. Mrs. My light board. What is then the total cost? So the total cost is for the first 200 and for the remaining these 50 units. How much did she pay the total for these 50 units? So okay, that's our B. So the total is going to be this one. Already we calculated for 200 units, we obtained 50 kwacha in this case, plus the remaining, which is 50 units at 0.60 kwacha. So it's 50 times 0.60 kwacha. So that was the remaining units, which is the 50 units. So 50 kwacha plus, how much are we going to get if we multiply 50 times 0.6, which is going to give us 3,000. But we've got how many decimal places? 2. So it's 30 kwacha there. So we're going to obtain 30 kwacha. And if we add properly, that's 80. 50 plus 30, that's 80 kwacha. So this is the total amount of money she had to pay for the electricity. All right. The two triangles below are congruent. Congruent, what does congruent mean? Congruent, which means they are the same, the angles, they are the same, the sides, they are the same. That is what it means. So find the value of x. So if they are congruent, okay, the first thing is I just want to know, like, what is this remaining angle here before I talk of anything. Okay, this is my remaining angle here, which I know that angles in a triangle, they add up to 180 degrees. So to find this remaining angle, I'm just going to subtract it from 180, because I know angles in a triangle, they add up to 180 degrees. So subtracting from 180 degrees the two angles that I am given, which is this 50 and this 60 here. So what am I going to have if I subtract these two given angles from 180? That's simply 50 plus 60, which is 110 degrees. And if I subtract 180 degrees minus 110 degrees, that's 70 degrees. And 70 degrees, guys, that is the angle that is remaining here. So this is 70 degrees. Actually, that's what we've got here. And on this triangle here, if I am to cross-check, the x that I'm having is actually corresponding to an unknown side here. And what is that side? That's, if I'm to cross-check, guys, this is 60, this is 70, 60, 70. So definitely this side, I'm not supposed to like to calculate, because these angles, they're in a triangle. So definitely it is going to be 50 degrees, because I'm having this. So this 50 degrees here, it corresponds with x. This 50 degrees here, it corresponds with 10. And we said congruent figures, they are the same. So if an angle of 50 was corresponding with 10, definitely this 50 is going to also correspond with 10. This 60 here is going to correspond with 11,6. This 70 here is going to correspond with 12,5. These are what we call congruent figures. They are the same throughout. So what is therefore the value of x? So x is 10, because it corresponds to 10. So x here was 10. That was the value for x. All right. On number 27, we are given that there is a diagram below which shows part of a regular polygon. The exterior angle of the polygon is 20 degrees. Find the number of sides of this regular polygon. If I am given a regular polygon and I'm given an exterior angle, it's a very, very good advantage. Why? Because I simply know that the exterior angle of a regular, or even of a non-regular, the one that is A, that one, okay, they add up to 360 degrees. This is for the sum of exterior angles. We know that they add up to 360 degrees. And for the benefit or for the advantage of being regular, what's the advantage of being regular? The advantage now of being regular is that they are the same throughout. It means here I have got also 20 degrees, here I've got also 20 degrees throughout the whole figure until the last one to make them add up to 360. So how now am I going to know the number of sides? I'm just going to calculate the number of angles which gave me 360. Each angle outside is equal to what? Each angle outside is equal to 20 degrees. So just divide by what? By 20, so that you can have the number of exterior angles that you added together. So that's going to be 18 if you divide properly, because that's a 0 here, 2 into here, that's 1, which is 18. So there are 18 angles that we are talking about, and definitely a figure can have 18 angles, which means it has got 18 sides, because you can't say a polygon has got 18 angles and 20 sides. It's very, very impossible. So that means definitely we've got 8 sides. All right. Or the other thing that I could have done here is that since I'm given the exterior angle, maybe you wanted to do it another way, you can calculate the interior angle. It's still fine, and that will be 180, because this is on a straight line. So it's 180 minus this 20 here, which is actually 160 degrees. Okay, so that's something like 160 degrees. Okay, so this is an interior angle where I know in order for me to find each interior angle, I know that I'm going to use this formula, n minus 2 times 180 for the sum of interior angles divided by the number of sides. So this is for each interior angle, and that interior angle is equal to what? Is equal to 160 degrees. So that means I have formulated an equation that I am able to solve. How am I going to solve this? I can easily cross multiply. So this is another option that you could have done from this one that I did. Okay, so you can choose. So that means you can actually formulate your equations just by cross multiplying. So this is another option, like I'm saying, like cross multiply. That's n minus 2 times 180 degrees, which is n times 160. That's 160 degrees n. Or you can just put 160 because you're calculating. You can just remove this degree. Okay, just multiply here to expand the bracket. That's 180 times n, which is 180 n. 180 times minus 2, that's minus 360, which is equivalent to 160 n. I want to calculate the value of n, so therefore collect terms with n to one side of the equation. That's 180n minus 160n, which is equal to, I have to transpose this negative 360 to the other side, and it's going to be a positive 360. So 180 minus 160, that is going to be 20n, which is equivalent to 360. So I can divide by 20 now to calculate the number of sides, which is going to be the CO is 0, which is 18. So as we can see, we are obtaining the same answers, but just this is a little bit longer. But you can actually use that concept of knowing each interior angle only when it is a regular polygon. Only when it is a regular polygon, that's when you use this concept. If it is not a regular polygon, that's an irregular. Therefore, forget about this. Never try to apply such a concept. It doesn't work that way. Okay, anyways, I will talk about this, guys, as we are moving on, doing a lot of question papers, so that you also understand how to answer these typical questions. In the diagram below is a triangle ABC, that is where ABC is similar to triangle AD. We are already told, guys, that these two triangles, they are similar. Triangle ABC is similar to, actually, you know this because of corresponding, because of equal angles, actually. So in this case, I'm already given that triangle ABC. Okay, that's how you indicate a triangle. Triangle, just like that. Okay, triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADE. So similar, remember the sign for similarity, like that, to triangle ADE, like that. So the question is, we are given all this information, but we are asked to find the ratio of BC to DE in its simplest form. BC to DE. So the first thing is to generate to have the ratio of sides from similar figures. So how do I have ratio of sides? Remember, from similar figures, it's AB over the corresponding side A to B. This is A to D, so it's AD, which is equal to, you move on, it's B and C now, so it's BC over D and E over DE, which is equal to A, the last one, it's AC over the corresponding, which is AE, like that. So these are the ratio, where I know that the ratio of sides is the same throughout. For the same, for similar figures, the ratio of sides is the same. So I am asked to calculate this ratio here, BC to DE, which is this one, BC to DE. This is the part that I want. But do I have it on the part that just made me not to just use this diagram is because I'm not having this on the diagram. So that is why we have to use this ratio and find something that can replace this, because the ratio is the same. So what you're going to do is to take your BC over your DE and equate to the one that you are given with complete values. Okay, AB and this line, they've got values, but let's cross check AC, AE. From A to C, there's nothing here, so I'm going to take this side, so which is got AB, which is this one, so it's equal to AB over AD, because I have these values on this one, so I can use AB over AD. And it's the same thing, because we said ratio of sides for similar figures is the same throughout. So that means BC over DE is going to be AB. I have to substitute my A to B, which is 8. Everything over A to D. Take note, from A to D, you are adding these two, 8 and this 4 together. You have to add, you are combining these two, you combine together. All right, so it's 8 plus 4, which is 12. And I can be able to reduce because it is needed in its simplest form. So by 4 here, that's 2, by 4 here, that's 3. So it's going to be 2 over 3. So that's your BC over DE, which is 2 over 3, just like that, guys. All right. Anyways, let's move on to number 29. We're asked to find the median of the following. So the median is the middle term when the numbers are arranged in order of size. So the first thing is to arrange your numbers in order of size, starting with this 0 here. So we've got 0. We move on. We have got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 of them. That's 1, 1, 1, 1. There are 4 of them. Okay. Then we move on to, we have got 2 and 2 here. So there are 2. We've got 2, 2 here. All right. We've got this 3 and another 3. So that's 3 and 3. So we're just separating the values here. So the middle term, just that's your median. It is the middle term, the one that you see in the middle. That is the middle term. That is the median. But when the numbers are arranged in order of size, so you simply take this way, 0 and 3 can cancel, 1 and 3 can cancel, 1 and 2 can cancel, 1 and 2 can cancel. So this is the one that is remaining in the middle, which is 1. So our median in this case was a 1. All right, so that was it, guys, just like that. Then, given that x degrees and 88 degrees are supplementary angles, find the value of x. Okay. What do we have here, guys? The first thing is understand the word supplement, and I think we talked about this. So there are 2 of them, supplementary and complementary. So supplementary, you are referring to 2 angles, okay, which add up to 108. 2, not 3, but 2. Okay, then complementary angles, you're talking again of 2 angles, but these ones, they add up to 90 degrees. So just supplementary, 2 angles adding to 180. So here, these are the 2 angles that we are given. So it means x degrees plus 88 degrees. When added, these 2 must give us 180 degrees. That's supplementary. So therefore, what is the value of x? Simply transpose x is going to be 180 degrees minus 88 degrees. So I have to subtract it properly. These two guys, if 18, and I see that there's no calculator here, so it's going to be 9 and 1, which is 2, and that's 18 minus 9, which is 9. It's also 92. So it's going to be something like 92, if I'm not mistaken there. So that is the value of x for these two to be part of what? Part of supplementary angles, because if I add this like 92, let's just cross check. That's 10 here, then 1, 10, 18. Yeah, this issue of using calculators, guys, it ended up now making us to be something else, but that is the x that you're going to have there. Simply subtract the two angles that you're given from one. So that's what we had, guys, from the whole of this paper. Actually, yeah, that's everything. So that's everything. That's what we had. So guys, like I said, if you having much questions that we're going to have or that we're going to work on, please kindly follow the description of the channel that we have, Mason African Motives. Subscribe to this channel that you become part of the family, and also don't forget to share our videos to your friends and colleagues so that they also can revise with us under this platform of Mason African Motives. And if you have got question papers, guys, that you want us to work on, or revision past exam papers that you want us to work on, don't hesitate to simply reach out so that we can be able to assist each other as we are moving. So that this is not 66, but this is 4, guys. All right, 440. Okay, 43. Okay, that's what you're gonna have there. That's 864 and 4043. So what what I'm trying to say is that for your question papers that you want us to work on, simply send your question papers there via WhatsApp, or you can send the email. If you check on the description of the channel, the description, I'm gonna send all the details as everything, so you can actually contact us so that we can be in touch, as we will be working on question papers and revision. You have got soft copies that you want us to work on. Yeah, you can simply email your soft copy. You can simply send on WhatsApp your soft copy, then we can work on it. You have a question that you have got, you can send your question so that we can work on much questions as possible for you guys, as much as we can, with much love. So that's what you're having, guys, for Mason African Motives, working on ECZ department now, from Mason African Motives. Till we meet again.